You mean, yes.
Do something for it.
So you got these, no, this one.
I had them all in order,
Yeah.
and they still are, but. Oh, I'm sure. It's not time yet. It's not, it's 5:58. Cool. Cool. That's always a good thing.
All right, call the meeting order.
Sim,
Here.
Mears, Price,
Here.
Bacon, and Presley.
All right, we'll do the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I had Mr. Rodney Creech contact me, and he'd like to just talk to us here a little bit, so I'll just let him go first here. He's got another appointment, and
I didn't call you to contact, I didn't.
Well-
I didn't talk. I just called and let you know it's coming.
oh, I thought you had a couple words you wanted to say, or
I mean, I can.
if you,
My name's Rodney Creech, I'm from Twin Township, and currently a Pearl County Commissioner. And I'm running for state representative, so, in next March. So I'm just out introducing myself. And again, I pretty much, we work with Perry, when I was a Twin Township trustee, we worked with Perry. We had a good working relationship, sharing equipment, helping each other. I know a lot of people in this community have a lot of good roots, so more or less just trying to take a local voice up to Columbus. I'm a fourth-generation farmer. I still farm with my dad today, and then I have a local lawn care business. So very accessible. Big Facebooker, so if you guys want to message me on Facebook or something and get together, I'm very accessible, and you'll probably see me around quite a bit. So thank you.
all right, yep. And feel free to stay, and if you need to leave, that's fine.
I got 7, but other than that, I'll be here as long as I can.
All right.
Thank you. You're good.
Okay, minutes from the nuisance abatement hearing, June 11th.
I move to accept.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes. Okay, and then accept the minutes from the trustees meeting on June 11th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
A second.
Mears.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes. All right, then the nuisance abatement hearing on June 21st. Minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the abatement hearing on June 21st.
Second.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay, then the nuisance abatement hearing on July 1st.
I move to accept the minutes from July 1st.
Second.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay, and then the payment of bills.
I move that we make the checks for 34362 to 34426.
Second.
Mears.
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Okay.
The Ohio EMA requires that once the county National Hazard Mitigation Plan has been approved by the state, the local EMA must distribute the plan to participating jurisdictions to adopt the plan by resolution. So I have the resolution here, and I do have the packet that I will set out for you to review. Every 5 years, we need to renew this.
So moved.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Along with that, I was thinking about the emergency status of the township that we
Okay.
placed it under. And what's everybody's thoughts? Do we need to remove that?
Yes.
At this point, I think
So.
Yeah.
I think so, and unless there's any foreseen reason it needs to be by our police department or our road department. So I'll make a motion that we remove the emergency status of the township that we placed it under back on June, May.
It was on Memorial Day.
Okay.
A couple days after.
Well, it's a couple days
Couple
after
days
that,
after.
yes. I forget what the date. I want to say the 30th, but I don't know.
I think it was about June 1st.
Could have been.
Yeah, we weren't.
I think it was May 30th.
Okay.
Is there a
I second.
second? Sim,
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Do you want to jump to Tribell now?
Oh, yes. I suppose, yeah. Sure. We'll,
Oh,
I forget, Joe.
Joe Garrett.
Garrett, there we go.
So I spoke to Trustee Price at the OTA Winter Conference. And he wanted to inquire about the possibility of putting aggregation back on the ballot. And I said, sure, we can talk about that, and you guys have been a little preoccupied here for a while, so it just did not lend, or I would have come sooner, but I knew that you had more important things you're dealing with. But if we were to put it on the ballot this fall, we'd have to do it tonight. I brought the paperwork that you'd have to approve. I also brought some information that, well, that's not it, that's my registration. I brought some paperwork about Clay, because of course Clay was on the ballot in the past. And just statistic-wise, They had 931 eligible customers, so they have about 1,400 households up there. And 931 of them were still with the utility. Out of that, there's currently 842 active out of that 931. That's a really high number. So that's a high participation rate. And they were able to get a rate of 0.0483 per kilowatt. So south of 5 cents a kilowatt. I believe they're pretty happy. I know Steve mentioned that Rhonda reached out to them, and he just shared the same thing he shared with me, I guess, that they like it and they really have.
I had a resident ask me last week.
Yeah.
We were gonna put that back on the ballot, so I reached out to Steve Wolf and questioned him.
I was talking to him about some OTA stuff, but he mentioned that. And but they've had no complaints that they've forwarded to me. No concerns. It's gone pretty smooth. Participation is high. That's high because pretty much anymore, when we look at these, you have about a 40% participation rate because a lot of people already have programs, and then usually you'll get 10% opt out at the beginning, then you get another 20% opt out when they get that scaregram from the utility. And in this case, they only about 10%, just over 10% opted out altogether. So that's a very high participation rate. Now the rate's really good too. And then on their natural gas, interesting enough, they had 138 households eligible for natural gas, which means they have more than that, but that's how many don't have an alternate supplier. That number kind of surprised me. I think that was more than they thought they'd have too. They only had, and they had 122 participate in the program. So again, a very low or very high activity. People that chose to stay in the program didn't opt out. And then they had a rate of 0.3895 per CCF, and that's fixed for 2 years. Their electric's fixed for 3 years, and that's a really good natural gas rate too, because natural gas, if you look at it right now, natural gas rates on your bill's really, really cheap. Unfortunately, you're not using any. But this winter, it won't be really, really cheap, and that's where those rates will save money. So I just want to come in and get your see if you had questions, and I told you I would come, and so to see if it was something you guys wanted to entertain. I think last time, usually we've done this long enough. I think there's a little bit of instability in the township, and that has an effect. I think that's why Clay was so successful, and maybe we weren't here. It seems like some of that has dissipated. So maybe, and the fact that Clay has had such a successful program, high participation, might be something that residents here want to reconsider. We have done multiple communities where we've done it a second time. I kind of like the idea of doing it a year apart versus doing it one election and then just ban the next election. I think that kind of feels like you're trying to beat people over the head with something. So I'd just like to hear your thoughts on if it's something you want to pursue.
What is the current differential in kilowatt hour compared to what you're offering?
It depends on usage in the DP&L market, and I didn't look up of what DPL's currently was, what the this month, what the cost to compare is. I know it's over 5. Okay, so I want to say it was in the 5.2 to 5.4 range. It might be a little bit low. So I would say you're somewhere over 0.5 cent kilowatt. So if somebody uses 1,000 a month, that's $4 or $5 a month. At 1,000, people are less than that and less. People are using more and more. Now, some folks in DP&L market, when you get up to people that are using, and this is the top like 3% of usage, when they get up into 3,000, 3,500 kilowatts, DP&Ls, they may be better off state, because DPL does so much. They start reducing the price once you hit a certain point and go higher, but that usually affects a very, very small percentage. If you're using 3,500 kilowatts a month, that's a serious bill. You know, you're spending $300 a month in electric, $400 a month in electric. So you don't see a big part. Most folks are gonna be probably in that 800 to 1,200 range. You know, 800 to 1,200, based on the time of year, you know, that's gonna, right now, it's hot. You know, usage is gonna go up. You might see more people using 1,800, 2,000. But, you know, April and May, they might have used 500 or 600.
If we would do this, would you be willing to come out again and have the meetings like you
We'll
did?
do the exact same thing. We'll do the meetings, we'll do the mailers. One thing we would ask is, what we want to do is, again, because of some instability here, we've had a lot of success the second time around, getting ones that didn't pass the pass, okay? Pretty high percentage, probably 70%, okay? Now, how we do that is we really trust the folks here. We try to figure out what was going on, and I think we have a good idea here, okay? And then we try to determine, well, how do we get that message to folks in the best way possible? And I think one of the things we talked about, I talked about this with Scott, is we're happy to do it. We're happy, again, come out, hold the meeting, do the mailings out to the community, you know, the multiple mailings, informing them of the meeting, informing them of how everything works. But with that, what we would probably want to do this time, and again, none of that, and if you got that information, none of it was saying, do this, you know, this is great. It wasn't like a vote for me type of thing. It's informational, right? Here's what it is. Here's what happens. And then you make your choice. But as part of that, we would probably ask that the trustees, if we able to use the trustees' names, that, you know, say, this is why we're doing this. This is an option. You're not required. You know, we felt that if it's something that you all want to do, we want to make it available. If you don't, that's fine. You know, but attach your names to it so that it has that, you know, that it shows that the board's behind it. And I think from that standpoint is maybe something that the last time it was more of you know, different camps, right? So we would want to probably do something along that line and ask that you guys be, you know, open to, I'm not saying promote it, I'm just saying why you're offering it.
We didn't have a real big turnout at our informational meeting here. I don't know why.
None of them do.
Really?
None of them do.
Huh.
You know, I've gone to communities that have 5,000 households, and I've had, you know, 10 people in the audience.
I thought at that time that apparently there wasn't much question, because I told people I really couldn't explain it all really well, and I said, come to the meeting, and a lot of people still didn't come.
People are busy,
I
you know?
guess.
They're busy, and that's why one of our suggestions is if the trustees said, here's why we're doing this, and it's on the information. Chances are, most people are gonna react as, if I have an opportunity to save money, I'm not gonna be stuck. It's not gonna cost me anything, I can leave. And therefore, okay, let's do it. And that's, not everybody, but the majority of the people trust their local leaders. We don't trust Washington. The state is a little, you know, from time to time, we can be a little, you know, but the polls that come out, you can see, you know, at the local level, we typically trust because you're our neighbors, you know. We see you at the events in the community, we see you at dinner, I mean, we know you. And so, from that standpoint, I think people will tend to, you know, but that works in the other way too, right? The more vibration you have at that level, the more it's going to immediately have an effect on community versus, you know, Washington's always fighting. It doesn't, you know, really paying down to what's going on here tonight. So, but, you know, we may get some more people that come out that didn't come out last time, too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I would hope.
You know?
You know, if they get questioned, or hopefully they would.
You know? But, and I think we'll tailor the information, we have enough time to kind of get an idea and tailor the information to, last time we put all that information out there, here it all is. We may scale it back and say, here's what we think the two things, this is what we're gonna, we're gonna ask folks in this room, what were people saying to you? Where was the disconnect?
Right.
Because when you know what this is, there's no harm to you. So why would you not say yes? There's a.
And maybe
so-
if you say something about people in Clay Township, about them, with them being so close, they may have neighbors or friends and those.
Right.
We see that a lot.
I would think that would be a
Yeah,
plus.
exactly.
Seems like it would be.
Yeah. Because what I'm hearing is everybody in Clay's tickled to death.
Yeah.
So,
So that's something that, kid, we have to do it tonight because we have to be 90 days and you don't meet again before that time frame
Right.
comes up to turn it into the Board of Elections. Which, if one of you wants to take it down to the Board of Elections, great. If not, I'll do it. But I did it last time. Holy cow. Jeez. That is maybe just try to find the building, and then once you find the building where you're supposed to park, holy moly. And then once you get in the building, try to figure out, oh, geez. But I'll do it.
He knows now, also.
yeah.
You've been there once, you already.
I do. I know. I'll do a lot better. I won't have to flag a guy down on the street this time like I did last time.
Window downstairs.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's it.
but yeah, we definitely have conversation as far as what you guys want to put in there. What you think, what you heard from people is important
Right.
because we want to make sure. Obviously, there is a misconception. And we want to attack whatever that misconception was and give them factual, not say, oh, that's wrong. No, this is factual. Make your decision based on that factual information. If you still say no, then so be it. But don't say no on something that's
I think
not
we
what
ought
it
to offer
is.
the constituency the opportunity to take this under consideration and vote the way they want to vote.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think so.
Like I say, I don't know that there's any harm in it. I mean, my biggest concern was last time, if people started asking, I didn't know if I could answer all the questions properly. But I really didn't have that coming up. I was like, I thought, well, everybody's good with it, I guess, but then the vote didn't come out that way, so.
Well, and the other thing is you can give them our numbers too.
Yeah,
A lot of
I
folks.
would still give them.
We did. We
Yeah,
did
a lot
do
of-
that with a couple.
And residents will call us
Yes.
and we walk them through it,
Right.
I mean, we do that after the fact, we do the customer service after, but prior to the vote, all the residents are, they can call us and say, hey, I'm wanting to know what more about this.
Right.
And we're happy to answer those. Jen is one of the people in the office and that's what she does all day long.
And I don't think anybody's opposed to saving us money,
No.
so.
No.
That's,
Well, if you want to do it, we need two motions and we need to add the resolution numbers to these. If I remember correctly, you do, like what we do, just do the date.
Well, if we take them down to the Board of Elections, can I put them on tomorrow?
You can do whatever you wish.
Okay.
If you take them down to the Board of Elections,
Okay.
You'll buy your lunch.
yeah, what else do you want?
I'll do that. I'll do that.
So, I don't know who wants to make the motions, but
I make a motion.
Was one for electric and one
you do one
gas?
for electric, one for gas.
Oh,
These are the two.
which we don't have a lot, but we do have some with the gas. I don't think we have a very big
What
number.
it is you put it out there.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I don't recall, but did we figure out last time there was 60 some, or am I wrong on that?
it was low. I don't think we never figured out afterward, if it passes afterwards, we have to kind of get a general idea, because we have to tell them what they're bidding on.
I think most of them are right along 35 or just up from 35, just a little bit, and I don't know why. I had in my mind there was 60 some, but I could be wrong on that.
If it passes, we'll find out.
Okay.
Last year, there was some questions with the Board of Elections because they contacted me. And I think they reached out to you and even to the prosecutor. Do you recall that? Is that all resolved? And was it had to do with the incorporated and the unincorporated areas?
That should say unincorporated.
I was not able to answer that question, so. think they went to the prosecutor and then the prosecutor reached
Electric
out.
loads located within the unincorporated areas of the township.
Okay, has that been added, or that was
That's.
something they overlooked?
I think that was somebody at the Board of Elections interpretation being
Okay,
not
okay.
correct.
I just recalled I received a call on
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's pretty, this language came from the Secretary of State,
Okay,
you know, and so, but when, you know, you got different people at different places, especially if they did one that was different, or, you know, I mean, we get different things from different prosecutors too. We'll have one prosecutor say this and the other, and you just have to say, well, call here. But it should not be an issue.
okay.
Do
you have a card?
Now, like over in Clark County, their prosecutor says all the incorporated areas have to be included in the township for this. Most of the rest of the state, they say no. They have to either do their own, or they have to do, in the case of a village or a city, they have to do an ordinance that says that they're going to participate in, and then they can be put on the ballot with. But here, well, we did the same thing in Clay, it was the unincorporated area, same thing in
See, that-
Jefferson, same thing in Butler.
That was one question that I had come up to me that, and I think I asked it last time, and I don't remember what the answer. Some people said, well, why don't we just do this countywide? And I said, I don't know.
Well, the
I
answer
mean-
would be is you want to be the one controlling that. You
Oh.
can, but then you're not controlling the program.
Okay.
So we actually, last year, I got 6 townships as clients that were in a countywide in the county, and they pulled out and didn't roll
Okay.
it. And it's just because they had no voice, and money was going to other people as part of and they were like, no, why is our money going to that association? That's, no. And so you lose some of that control, that's why you typically don't want to do it.
Okay.
At the local level. So that one's good, that one says unincorporated area. All you have to do is make a motion for the electric.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read them. Yeah, I want to put a motion on the floor that we participate in the aggregation program for electric. I don't have a resolution number yet, you said you'll pick that
I'll
up
pick it up,
tomorrow.
yeah.
You wanna
Right.
say that down?
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Yeah, the natural gas says unincorporated too.
And I want to make a motion that we accept participation in the natural gas aggregation program. And I'm not gonna read all that either.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
This company's just a brokerage, right?
I'm sorry?
This company's a power broker.
Exactly.
How
You
many-
can ask him, he knows more about that than me.
Yeah, we're considered a broker, we're kind of like a consultant. We handle putting it together for the township, then we manage it.
There's multiple brokers out there.
There is. We are one of the largest in the state of Montgomery that does aggregation work. Now, they will all tell you, oh, yeah, we do aggregation. Now, what some of them consider aggregation is, like, the township has 3 buildings, and they do the electric for all 3 buildings. That's considered aggregation. That's not the same as doing residential aggregation. But there's less, you call anyone and say, hey, we want you to do our residential aggregation, they'll all say yes, but the problem is there's a little bit more to it.
Have the trustees look into other brokerages?
Yes.
I did that when I was at the Oklahoma meeting. I interviewed several people. I talked to Steve, and Steve was the one at the top of the heap. Looked the best to me. And I asked him to come here and present this because of that.
We have, I think it's over 100 townships in Ohio. We have more townships than anybody else. We understand townships pretty well.
And there were some startup companies and there were things like that that I didn't want to be involved in. And I didn't want to take a chance on you people losing money. I wanted to see.
We actually had another individual here.
That's correct, yeah, we did.
From another company.
Right.
Presented a program on
this was the man that I voted, give us this option.
All right, I'll get back with you. I am going to run.
Yes.
I have some people coming in from out of town, so I gotta get back. But we'll get all the dates and get set. I believe, if I remember correctly, Rhonda, you have the schedule for the hall here as far as setting up
Yes.
the date. So I'll
Yes.
get with you as
Do
far
you
as
have a
what
card
we'll
with
do.
you, on you?
Out in my truck I do.
Okay.
Do you want me to bring you one?
No, just email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll get a hold of you. Those have to be in by, I believe, it's 90 days prior. So it's like August
7th?
7th, I believe. But if we don't wait that long, that would be good. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you, Jim.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Oh, sorry about that.
See ya.
Okay, fiscal officer reports.
July 18th, the MCTA will be at Washington Township. Semi-weekly 941 has been paid, the quarterly 941 federal return and the Schedule B form, along with the state and school district withholdings and the courtesy withholdings. The 2017-18 AUP audit is complete. I do not have the report yet. The cost, or estimated cost, will be $4,182. They're still pulling some other additional information, working back at the office. But they hope to have it complete within a month. I did question about the next audit for 19 and 2020. Well, and they said that we would probably qualify for another AUP audit for the 2019-2020 audit years. The only reason why we would not qualify would be for the change in the board. New
So
people
then we
coming
go back to
on.
be a full audit.
Yeah, be a full audit. And that's standard, I think, when you have changes.
So that's up 11,000 or,
Last time it was around 11.4.
yeah.
As always, I always learn something from the auditor. You gotta kind of read between the lines. They do not work in the UAN, they just get reports. Kind of a hard shell, it's hard to communicate with them. You can, but had a good auditor this time and got a lot of clarifications resolved. So with that, after reviewing my certificate of estimated resources, I found out where the police real estate revenue was only $1 off, but I did contact Montgomery County and had that corrected. The carryover balance was like $1.20 or $1.60, so we even corrected that, which it was fine because now we know what the public works for Keener Road will be of $149,000, so I added that to the certificate. Second half real estate tax advances are coming in. The first advance, I found an error, so I had to reach out to the county, excuse me, the county, and we've got that corrected. It was the spreadsheet did not use the formula to calculate the value. That was an error for the police 2018 levy. So that is resolved. The 2019-20 Budget Commission meeting would be held on August 29th. I waived the hearing before the Montgomery County Budget Commission. I don't think we'd ever get any more additional money anyway. Does Preble County ever get any more additional money? Okay. I was always told you might as well waive it, so that's what I do.
And like the audit, I knew I was in here the one day, and it's kind of like always, there was a couple things that kind of changed as the
They do.
thing went along that we had no clue of. They need to send us out
One of them is-
memos or something about that.
One of them, and they have no reason why they're addressing the fingerprinting with the police departments now. And they said, why we are being audited auditing this procedure, they have no idea because they have no knowledge of it. But it's one of the requirements that auditors could not even explain. I received the stamped copy of the records retention schedule, so we do have that, so we can have a meeting to shred or discard any. I know our records room is getting full. I do need a resolution to approve the permissive CD renewal. We went up to 15 months since it had a better rate of 2.50%. The current value is $31,828.05.
Okay, so moved that we renew for 15 months at the annual percentage of 2.5.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
On one of the cruisers with the warranty, this freeze plug, I've lost count on how many times I've called. When I finally get the result where it is not covered underneath warranty, then I find out that you need to send photos of the freeze plug before it's removed from the vehicle. So I contacted the mechanic, and he had the pictures,
Okay,
he
that's what I
forgot
thought.
to send them to me.
Okay.
But it is closed because it's not under, what they got was the part, but not the pictures. So I've reached out again, and emailed the photos so they can review. So at this time, I don't know, the freeze plug was only like $1.98, $1.68, but the labor was $210, which they'll pay for that if it is covered. And I'm getting into some mechanic repairs that I couldn't begin to explain. It's not part of my training, sorry. So we'll see what happens here. I received the capital distribution from Otarma, so what I do is divide that between the general, road, and police. So each got $611.73. I do have information here for the 2020 cemetery grant application. I have not reviewed it. If anybody would like to look at that, it's due no later than August 14th. So we have that if there is a grant for the cemetery that you would like to look into. The lights have been installed. There's just a couple more, I think, still needing installed, if that's correct. The gentleman reached out to me, so I've given him the administration and the maintenance DP&L account numbers and sent the W-9. Once the completion of all lighting is installed, confirmation on township letterhead for the labor cost needs to be mailed. So I did reach out to the gentleman telling him I need a breakdown of the labor for that.
And the holdup right now is he's waiting on 2 fixtures that he had to order to get in. That's the only thing that's left to be done.
Okay.
Is it bright and beautiful in here?
It is, looks nice. I attended the North Clayton Road Group Drainage Project at Soil and Water on June 27th. Soil and Water has determined the need for this project, a total of 3,450 feet of new tile over 60 acres. They will have a public hearing, which will be sent by certified mailing, along with an estimated assessment. So once I get that, I'll let you know, keep you informed.
That don't catch any township properties.
No.
I didn't think so.
No. They had a really large turnout at Soil and Water.
Well, that's what he told me one day. I talked to him. He says, "No, I don't think there's any township
No.
stuff in it." I was down there about something different. I just asked him a little bit.
I think some of the residents, it wasn't directly affecting them
Right.
at this time. but. since
Well, some of
Solon-
them may be a ways away, but they're still in the watershed, so they
Right,
get an assessment.
And it was hard for them to understand that, but Soil and
Right.
Water has determined the need for it, so.
Right.
Kate and I went June 28th to the Rumpke Recycling Landfill and Corporate Office. That's where I want to work. I want to go to Cincinnati and work. That office is amazing. It was a wonderful trip, and I tell you what, I could not ever work in the recycling plant. That conveyor belt went so fast, and those people pulling off items that are not recyclable items, and the machinery, the equipment, everything, really an awesome trip.
Were they pulling off more than they were letting go?
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
What is not recyclable?
Well, and that's another thing, I have reached out to Rumpke, and there is a Dayton rep here in the area that would come to have a class held here some evening. So I'm still working towards that.
If they could just have a list of items that aren't.
We have
Cardboard, paper, if it's got a bottleneck like this, it probably is recyclable.
Plastic is your biggest thing that, it has to have a neck.
It has to have a neck.
Yogurt, cottage cheese containers, butter containers are
Are not.
not.
And the
recyclable.
things strawberries and blueberries come in, they're
No.
not.
Clamshell are not.
So I had been recycling a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and another thing, I had a resident reach out to me, and they recycle everything, and they needed another recycling
Bin.
bin
Yeah.
cart. And I thought, well, the second cart costs $2.50 a month. And I said, you might be recycling some items that you may not need that second recycling cart. I hate for them to pay for it when Rumpke then is pulling things off that's not recyclable.
They were pulling plastic grocery bags off left and right, and they were
Flying through the
this big thing of air would suck them up and take them
You're
away.
not-
Oh, my.
You're not
It was-
supposed to put your recycles in a bag, right?
No bag.
And we've been doing that for years.
I have too, yeah. And I've been doing it mainly when you have traffic going by. If your cart would tip over, then all that loose items, but,
So what happens if you do put them in the bag? They just go ahead and put them in the trash?
It's trash.
yeah.
My trash man stopped me and says, I know you're trying to recycle, but everything you put in a bag is trash.
Yeah.
5 years I spent recycling all this stuff,
Yeah.
making sure it was in a nice clean bag.
Right. That's
Throw
what
it
we've been
away.
doing.
Yeah.
Well, every piece of plastic has a number on it, you know.
Don't look
They
at
said,
that.
don't go by the numbers.
Do
So they
not
can't-
look at that.
They can't recycle the same number of plastic.
No.
No, don't even bother looking at
That's
that.
what they said, don't even look at the
Well, there
numbers.
probably are recycling centers that do that, maybe out in California or
Right,
something.
right, not here, not for,
We're not hippie enough, I guess.
Come to
so.
this area, the place we can go to get a list of what is and isn't.
I have a couple flyers, I can make copies after the meeting and give you. So anyway, I'm, like I said, I'm reaching out to the Dayton rep to see if they could have a class here some evening. I was thinking the first week in August, and, or,
Well, there's places recycle all kind of stuff that the trash companies don't recycle.
Right.
I mean, there's stuff that,
you know,
there's companies that do styrofoam, but they don't,
Yeah.
so.
or if any-
Growers takes your plastic bags too.
Rubbers takes your plastic
Yeah.
bags, you know, there's companies that do a lot of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
not the,
Not Rumpke.
right,
Walmart will take your plastic bags as well.
Mhm.
yeah.
And the grocery store in New Lebanon will too.
There's places that'll even take tires and grind them up, but, you know, not, I don't know where, but there are.
There was a big turnout, 5 of the 9 townships, a representative from each of them went on the trip, along with Centerville and Montgomery County Environmental Services, so it was a good turnout. So if, we'll first reach out to someone coming here to speak about recycling, or we could always take a tour of the plant.
It was interesting.
It was so interesting. Oh, and I also emailed Miami Valley Regional Planning Committee for their annual report. We get buku of them. I told them to take some officials that are not here anymore off the list and just put Perry Township and only send us one. Don't need to waste all that money. I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Or do you want me to address this, the mowing charges, fees?
Go ahead and let it have it now.
Okay, one more thing, on the nuisance abatements, on the mowing, we have a couple resolutions out there, and I'd like to combine them into one resolution. Everything will remain the same, but just for auditing purposes, having everything in one. So the mowing charges are, we're not in the mowing business. We don't want to be in the mowing business, so we make this ridiculous,
It is
so.
high price.
Yeah, so you can hire somebody, that's what our goal is. So the mowing charges are $500 per hour with 1 hour minimum, $250 per hour each additional hour. There's a $50 administration fee plus postage, and $100 per hour for each additional person. And that's what we have currently been charging. But like I said, they are in 2 separate resolutions in different years. So we'd just like to, it took us a while to find these, so we'd like just to update that if you
That's
trust.
very reasonable. I think I'll just sell my mower and let you guys.
I think that's probably why my neighbor moved so fast.
Mm-hmm.
She got it moved really fast.
She got a letter.
I figured she did, because, I mean, there was no life over there at all, then all of a sudden the mower was there.
So you need a resolution
Yeah.
just saying to combine the
Yeah,
two
but
into
that's what I'll
one?
put all in the resolution.
That's
Okay,
it.
so,
Go ahead, you made it right.
yeah, I'll,
Okay, Ron, did you second
Second.
that? Okay. Sim,
yes.
Price,
Yes.
Mears?
Yes.
Okay.
It only took one letter to your name, or that's amazing. Most people.
Well, with those prices, I can make mowing pretty fast
Are
too.
we gonna talk about mowing and stuff right now because we got some information?
No, mine's, well, mine's not.
Or do you wanna wait till we go to?
Oh, it don't matter to
zoning?
me, I'm done with my report.
Well,
Do you wanna do the road crew next? And then we'll
I
get to.
guess, that's good. Yeah, let's do the road part, since that, they do the mowing.
Our cemeteries, spraying weeds at cemeteries, we've been regular mowing up to this point. If you don't get no more rain, we'll back it off to every 2 weeks, mowing the cemeteries. We have 3 funerals coming up, 2 Friday, 1 Monday, so, and sale graves tomorrow and Thursday. And as far as roads, working on Keener and Amity, we'll be getting a hot box from the county, asphalt box, fill potholes, but currently it's broke down until they get the part. We won't be able to get that done until they get it fixed. Trying to finish up any tornado cleanup. And on that note, Dale and I attended the FEMA meeting, turned in the paperwork, so that should be good there until the next step. We'll start mowing roads probably in a week or 2, and rain or not. The crack sealing has started. They're working on Sulphur Springs now. I imagine we'll hit Amity Road in next. We have tile and driveway culverts replaced on Amity Road. The 2002 one-ton truck is back in service. Differential lock gear broke, and on that truck we had to replace that axle, and we still had the old axle, so we was able to take parts out of that one to fix this one. And we're caught up as far as nuisance abatement yards to be mowed. We're caught up to this point, and we'll have a couple, I think, one mower, not 2, on this round coming up. And just saying shop lights have been replaced except the outside lights, that's what we're waiting on there, so. Other than that, be working on Keener Road, and I did did do some work for Montgomery County, help them
I was
out.
wondering if you
Yeah.
ended up doing that.
I
So if anybody saw Mike out of the township with the track hoe and the mow for him, he was doing some stuff for Montgomery County. That's one of them in-kind
Right.
trade-off services we
Right.
do. Just like the hot box and the crack seal, they come out and help us with that stuff. We help them.
Phase one was done, I got
Yeah.
about a couple weeks to
So,
go back down.
That's why the track hoe may have been out of the township. It could have been seen out of the township. That's why. So it's one of them trade things that we work together at, so.
You know, we've got a mower head for our track hoe,
Right.
they do not, so
that's-
we use their hot box and jet router and so forth, so
Right.
we go to help them out. And that'd be working on Keener Road issue too, so that'd be on books hot and heavy there. That should be it.
Mike, can you tell me how far south we go for Perry Township road maintenance?
Well, 35, but,
Okay.
you know, within Perry Township, Montgomery County maintains X amount of roads and we maintain X amount of roads. So it depends on what road you're wanting to know about or.
Johnsville, Brokeville's just north of 35.
New Lebanon.
Well, that's New Lebanon.
That's New
That's New Lebanon's part
And
right
it has
there.
been told that that's Perry Township, and that is incorrect. We have nothing to do that. Nobody knows why New Lebanon will not fix that
Well,
road.
Clayton
Because
Road the
they
same
think it's
way.
Perry Township.
It's
No,
not.
no.
They know better than that. We have nothing in that road. It wouldn't be ours if, it would be the county's.
It'd be county,
Not
county
ours.
maintained.
But it is New Lebanon's, so.
That's, tells you a lot right there, it's new.
The best thing to do is just call New Lebanon. I mean, I know they've had calls before.
Okay.
It's like demolition
Oh,
derby.
it's- There's gonna be an accident there, I'm afraid. It's not good. Okay, zoning. Hey, go to you.
You want me to start, or you got
Oh,
something?
Well,
Go right ahead, I'll
Okay.
finish up.
The third quarter 2019 trash bills were mailed on June 27th, and the due date to avoid the late fee is August 1. There were 7 trash bills suspended due to the tornado. I toured the Rumpke facility in Cincinnati with Rhonda. That was June 28th. Since the June meeting for zoning, I issued on June 27th, a permit was issued for a home occupation at 13070 Air Hill Road. It's a virtual business / administrative support. Letters to mow were sent to 1818 Sulphur Springs. They mowed, that's the one they mowed with push mower. 2395 Crawford Tom's Run, they mowed. 4747 Diamond Mill, I gave them an extension. They have to be mowed by the 15th. They have problems with their mower, or they don't have a mower yet. They went to buy one and the place was closed due to vacation. 237 Crawford Tom's Run, he got an extension through the 8th yesterday. It's still not mowed, so we need to come up with a nuisance abatement date for that. Nuisance abatement hearings were held for 14371 Eaton Pike, and that was mowed by the property owner, or not by us. 4629 North Sulphur Springs, the front yard was mowed, the backyard was not mowed, and that's the one the road crew will mow. 14630 Amity Road, had till July 1 to mow, it's not mowed, and they called today and I gave them an extension till July 15th due to they're waiting on parts for their tractor. The township road crew mowed 15800 Little Richmond. The property owner was billed $1,202.40. They have until July 14th to pay. If it's not paid by the due date, the property taxes will be assessed. 10055 Little Richmond, the owners are deceased. the township road crew mowed. We need a resolution to assess the property taxes for $813.70. And 15011 Brookville Piermont, owner deceased. Township mode, we need a resolution to pass to assess the property taxes $675. 161 Johnsville Brookville Road, the property owner was billed $670.55. They have until July 27th to pay. If not paid by the due date, the property taxes will be assessed. So,
So you need, you need a motion on
Three.
two of them or three of them?
Two.
two,
Two of
10055 Little Richmond for $813.70, which does not include the 5% that the county adds on to it.
So moved.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Okay, and then 15011 Brookville Piermont, $675, which again does not include the 5% county tax.
So moved.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim.
Yes.
Okay.
You got the Little Richmond one then? You already, was that the
Little
first one?
Richmond was the first one.
That was the first one, okay. I
Yeah.
thought- I
And then
misunderstood what you
Johnsville,
said.
Brookville, oh no, well, there's two on Little Richmond.
Well, that's, I know, that's why.
15800 Little Richmond, they were sent a bill and they haven't paid it
Okay.
yet. And
Okay.
same with 161 Johnsville, Brookville, they were sent a bill, but they haven't
Yeah.
paid yet.
Okay.
Okay, so July 11th, there's a BZA hearing scheduled for 2 lot splits. One is 4746 Johnsville, Brookville Road. The other one's 3693 Crawford Tom's Run Road. That's coming up Thursday of this week. And my vacation is August 9 through 21, so I won't be here. And that's it.
Okay. Miss Barnes and I have been in communication. She has a neighbor. What is his address? I didn't.
654 Sheep Road.
Yeah, 654 Sheep Road. This is a very convoluted situation. He has sent a lot of information to Kate, and I've reviewed that. And what it is, it's all of the legal precedents that have to be followed to get a Department of Natural Resources grant there for that property, not a grant, but a certification for that. Well, I went out and talked to Mike Jones, who is the owner of that property.
Mike Rogers.
Mike Rogers, I mean, Jones, Rogers. Anyway, yeah, I talked to Mike Rogers, and I told him, I said that, you know, what we have received, those are just, I could get that too. I can get all the information from the Department of Natural Resources, or it's wildlife, whichever one it is. Anyway, what we need, and I told him, what we need from you is some kind of verification that you have started the process, that you have made a commitment and you have been granted the authority to do this. And we're gonna have, I want to have a hearing, a zoning hearing. And I want to invite him, and I want him to bring what he's got. And if he fails to do that, I think it should be put on the nuisance abatement, because it's not a good situation for the neighbors. It's a breeding ground for vermin and ticks and
We've got mosquitoes galore.
and you know, I was there and I visited with the guy. He was very cordial, and I was cordial with him. But I really believe that we have ordinances for a reason, and everybody has to obey those. And he's no exception. So if he cannot produce some kind of certification, some kind of legal document that proves that he is doing this, then he has to be served with nuisance abatement and made to mow that, or the township will.
He hasn't done one single thing that you say. He said he had a birdhouse up, well, a birdhouse.
Well, I looked it over very well, and the situation is not,
He's not done nothing.
it doesn't present itself as a wildlife sanctuary. It presents itself as an overgrown lawn.
He emailed me today and sent me his certification, and he's got a certification number, and he stated that he talked to you yesterday, and I called the Wildlife Federation today, and they said whatever he's doing, he still has to stay within the legal limits of the township.
Right.
And so, Mr. Rogers mentioned something about a hearing, so we'll just have to.
Who's that certification through that he
The
claims?
National Wildlife Federation.
Mr. Price, didn't you speak with Ashley, the lady
I
I
did.
told you about?
I did.
And she told you too that there's no program that says let your yard grow?
Right.
Right.
You can't just let your yard grow.
Right.
You can contact Renee Buck, did you?
I did
she
not.
works through that, bunch of that stuff.
But
You can get in contact with her through the soil and water office down here, soil and water.
Well, I didn't go that
Okay,
route.
I mean, I didn't know who you might have talked with for sure. I knew you were working on it.
I talked to Ashley, I talked to several people, but I came to dead ends on a lot of that. I mean, they gave me statements about what was the legality of it and what wasn't, and I can't verify what he's got out there because I can't go out there and roam around in his front yard and look at it. But I think that we do need to have a hearing. He needs to have documentation saying that the Wildlife Federation or DNR, whoever is behind all this, they have to say that, yes, he is doing everything to fit our program and it's gonna be
Well,
something.
they certified him. I've got a certification number and all that, so.
Where's his sustainable water source? Where's the creek or pond?
These are the things that we need to look at. And-
Exactly.
And I really think that, you know, I don't know what a certification, I haven't seen that, so I don't know what that is.
But it came
Yeah.
in late this afternoon.
It could be, you know, he's certified that he's contacted her, I don't know. But we need to have a meeting on this and have a hearing on it and see where we're at on it. I mean, we can give him whatever kind of notice you want to, but I do think we ought to have a hearing to find out exactly what's going on.
We
You know,
probably just need to have a nuisance abatement hearing, and if you don't present that stuff, then
Right.
then you got so long to mow it or we're gone.
Right.
I mean, I would think that's the,
Well, because
Wait,
that,
we have to
Ashley
do it.
said there's no programs that says let your yard grow, none. So that right there, he could do whatever he wants, he can cut the grass and do whatever he says, but there's no water source, and she says there's 0 programs on let your grass grow.
Well, we got ordinances for a reason, and I told
Yes.
him that, and, you know,
They're just
he
lazy.
was adamant that he wanted to have this thing, and I was adamant you gotta produce some kind of proof that what you're doing is legal. And, you know, maybe we may have to go into the books on this and find out more, but
I appreciate all your help though.
no problem.
Thanks.
what's
So,
the total acreage he's got there, you know that?
Almost 5, but he cuts the back half of his 5,
Yeah,
just
that's-
not the front half that everybody sees.
That's important. Puzzles me.
Weird.
Why would you
That's
cut
what I
that in
said.
front of your property?
Make the back of your
I
property
think it's
the
4.65
wildlife.
or something acres, something like that. But,
I've been by it, I've looked at it, I really couldn't see the back that well.
Oh, the back's
Well,
cut, the
I
back's
mean, I
cut.
couldn't see that well to
yeah,
see
well, I
that.
went back into the house and talked to him
And
about
there's
that.
strips down the driveway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
strip down each side of the driveway, yeah.
And down the middle.
Oh, did he do
Down
one in the middle? Wow, okay.
Okay, Kate, so will you set that up and let us know?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you, guys. I gotta get back to the grandkids. I had somebody temporarily watching them. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Okay, is that all you had, Kate?
That was it.
Okay, I guess we'll go police department.
The new cruiser that we had at KE Rose is now over at Yipes and Stripes. It'll be done hopefully within a week and a half. He's trying to fit our vehicle in with everybody else's cruisers that they have coming in, so that was the estimated time that he told me it would take. Over the last 30 days, the police department has handled 2 property crashes
an OVI, one missing person, an injury accident, arrested one individual on a warrant, had 6 medic assists, 4 residential alarms, 5 suspicious circumstance calls, 3 911 hangups, 1 mutual aid, 1 mental health call, and 2 calls for a peace officer. Richard Elliott was a part-time officer here with Perry Township. He was hired back in May. He submitted his resignation letter on 6/24 of 19. He took a full-time position with the Greene County Sheriff's Department. So I'd like to ask the trustees to pass a resolution accepting his letter of resignation. Jason Collins is a part-time officer, or was a part-time officer. He's moved from a part-time status up to a full-time status with the effective date of July 1st, 2019, at a pay rate of $15 per hour. So I'd like to ask that you guys pass a resolution to accept him going up to full-time with that pay rate. Continuing to go through our equipment and things that are needing some upgrading. We have 3 of the old high-frequency radios that the county or PNR was able to put a patch on to use for our high-band radios. Those radios they're not transmitting when officers are out here using those, which is creating a risk for safety for the officers. Contacted PNR, and I have a quote here for 3 radios, which is the 3 that's remaining that are old, to replace those, and that's $10,324.26. With our in-car camera systems that we have currently that we've upgraded to, we are taking memory sticks out of the hard drive to try to move those camera footages over to our server. With that, with our current internet strength, we're not able to do so. However, Spectrum will be here July 24th to run the line from Little Richmond up to here and then run the wires for the install for everybody here. When that happens, we'll be able to move to a wireless upload system on a server here at the department. I've had WatchGuard submit estimates for that. There's 2 programs that they offer. One is extremely pricey. They want $10,580 as a one-time hookup for this cloud-based system, and a yearly fee for that's $2,700, which is extremely expensive. I don't care for that. The other one that they provided to me was a server that would be stored here at the department. The server would be under warranty for 5 years, and that's full service. So if any of the fans go out on it, if something electronic inside there was to go out, it's replaced by WatchGuard. The setup for this to get all 4 cruisers to do the wireless upload to that server is $10,160, and it has a yearly fee of $600. That yearly fee covers any software maintenance or any software updates that WatchGuard pushes out to the systems. That would be covered for those 5 years. The OVI contract that I was working with earlier this year and got it approved from $1,000 to participate in per year up to $5,000. That's been approved by the city of Dayton and the other agencies that are hosting this OVI task force to the $5,000. I just received the copy of the contract today, so I have that here. I also provided a copy to Rhonda to keep, so Perry Township will now be participating in that OVI task force.
So you need a resolution on replacing the 3 handheld radios?
Yes, sir.
I'll make that resolution.
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
Does that comply with the new frequency requirement?
Yes, sir.
On your vehicles, you have a smart stick in the vehicle that
For,
records all your audio, visual,
we have an in-car camera system that records that once it's activated.
and how is that memory stored?
I'm sorry.
How is that memory stored?
Right now, it's on the hard drive inside the system, which is inside the cruiser. We have to take a thumbstick that's removable, take that out, bring it in, and we have a dedicated tower that nothing else goes on it other than those videos.
So that's possible to do that versus spending thousands of dollars for a wireless system?
It's a wireless system. A lot of the videos that we are having with traffic stops or crashes or whatnot, their files are so large that we can't pull them off of that hard drive.
You can't pull them off of a memory stick?
Not with the memory stick. And sometimes it'll take me an 8-hour shift to pull all these videos off of the hard drive. Once this is pulled into the system or into the department here, those are transferred over wirelessly.
You don't even need to bring anything in. If it gets within so close, I haven't even talked to you about this all, but am I right? You get so close to the building, it automatically transfers.
The old system that we upgraded from, those were the same way. They were a wireless upload. Once we pulled into the parking lot here, those videos were automatically dumped over.
So there's no accidentally forgetting it or anything, it's automatically brought in.
Yep.
Yep.
But given the current internet speed that we have at the 3 megs per second, the way that this records in high def, the files are too large to even try to push over that system.
Do you know what kind of speed you need to do that?
I don't know the exact speed that I would need just to cover the download or the upload of the video wirelessly.
How big are your memory sticks?
The ones that WatchGuard provides is a 16 gig, which is what they recommend. I went to Office Depot and bought a 258 gig stick to, obviously I can put more video on it, but in doing so, it's taken forever still to bring those over.
There's also terabyte hard drives available. I've got an 8 terabyte hard drive backup on my system. So I know there's bigger soft storages out there.
The server here or the tower here, they're offering as a 12 terabyte system. So thumb drives.
You do a lot more data than I do, I know.
Thumb drives, I haven't found anything up past the 256 or.
256 is big as I've seen. Thanks.
Welcome.
You also needed a motion for Richard Elliott.
For Richard Elliott, he resigned June 24th.
Okay, so move we accept his resignation.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Mears.
Yes.
And full-time for Jason Collins.
So look for Jason Collins.
Is there a second?
Did she make a motion?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
second, yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
and Officer Waymeyer.
Officer Waymeyer, moving her from part-time to full-time with the effective date of July 15th.
So moved.
Second.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Does the new vehicle have a dog cage in
Nope.
it? How many dogs do we have besides yours?
Just one.
Just one.
Yep.
We need the hourly people getting paid for kennel care.
Nobody takes care of it except for me. It's my dog.
So did you want a motion or something on them other two?
You want a resolution on the second option?
Yeah.
On that second option, and that's just a one-time,
Right.
it's just a one-time payment with the yearly fee of $600
That's
for
the best of the two things.
It's very, I thought it was more reasonable than the other, but I asked them to send me all their options that they had, so, you know, we can look at
Okay, I'll
that.
make a motion that we accept the second option.
Is there a second?
Second.
Price,
Yes.
Sim,
Yes.
Mears,
Yes.
And I do have one final question.
Okay.
With the spectrum that's gonna be installed on the 24th, I don't have the payment off the top of my head. It's, was it 38 or 39, Rhonda?
39, so correct. I'm
Um,
not for sure.
I was wondering if each department could pay some sort of portion, no matter how big or how small, because the spectrum that's gonna be here is just not benefiting the police department. It's benefiting zoning, it's benefiting Rhonda, and Rhonda takes care of a lot of things for, you know, everybody sitting up here and everything. So if that's something that can be considered or something that can be done.
Rhonda, don't you automatically do that when it comes to something that serves the whole township? You have a certain amount that goes from the police department, some from the township itself, and some from the road crew. Don't you divvy that up in some way?
Some things.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's an automatic deal, right? We don't
Not
need a
always.
resolution for that. What'd you say?
Say
Jim?
this. I'm
It's
sorry.
not automatic on everything.
No,
as
no,
far
but
as-
I mean, on this situation where it's beneficial to the whole township function.
Probably the road department uses it the least. I don't need to pull very much for them at all on that.
Right, gig them for a little.
Well, how much, I mean, I don't know what we're talking, but the general don't have a lot in it. I don't know how much we can pull out of the general, or we're gonna run out of money here, because we did lights and,
Can we table this until she finds out?
I understand that the majority of that's gonna be coming out of the police department budget.
Correct.
My thinking is if it's beneficial to everybody that's here, then if 2,000 or 3,000 or even 1,000 or, you know, some $100, you know, something to help with that, I mean, I think would be,
Can we table that until Rhonda can look at it?
Yeah,
and then
I think we ought to table that, let Rhonda take a look at it.
yeah, let Rhonda take a look at it, I guess, and see what
kind
she.
of divvying up.
Because, yeah, I mean,
But I'm definitely thinking it's
Right,
a
if we-
good idea. and I
if we
think
split
will
it,
happen.
I mean, depends how big we split it, but if the split got too big, there's no way it could work. I mean, am I right?
Correct.
I don't think it could, after we did the lights and, because what we got in the,
$10,700.
yeah, I was gonna say $10,000, and
And for
if you
the
split it
lights-
three ways, that would be $10,000, and that would wipe us out on the,
For the
you know, if it
lights-
was a three-way deal.
For the lights, I took out of my salary. So for a month and a half, I will not get paid from the general because it's out of the lights, for the lights.
And those lights were done at a savings of over $3,000 with the guys that hooked us into it compared to the other estimate. So we saved money there. So, Well, we're gonna table that and let Rhonda look at it.
And as a reminder, I know when the auditor was here, I brought Ron and Missy in And you trustees will have to approve that, from which lines we move money from.
Okay.
I'd like to, I just want to remind everybody that July 14th from 2 to 4, we were having an open house / thank you police department, and we will be serving hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and goodies or whatever. And all the officers will be present, and we'll have an open house, and thank you everybody. So 2 to 4.
2 to 4, right.
2 to 4 on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yes. And also, is there any way that we can move August's meeting to August 6th or the 27th? If not, I can't attend the regular one. It's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
What did you say?
Move the meeting from August 6th to either the 9th, move it to the 6th or the 27th.
27th, I'll be gone.
So the 6th?
I don't know, I gotta get you a microphone, I can't hear you. Speak up,
Can you hear
John,
me?
speak up.
Huh?
She's
Can
not.
you
gonna-
meet August 6th, Ron?
The regular night would be
It's the
the,
ninth.
the 9th.
That's fine.
No, the 9th's a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
The
thinking that
6th
didn't
is a
work out.
Tuesday.
Yeah, the 6th is a Tuesday.
It's all right by me.
Sure.
Okay.
13th, yeah. So August 6th will be our next meeting.
Okay.
At
Come
6
again,
p.m.
please, with the
August
date.
6th.
August 6th
At
is the next
6, yes.
regular meeting.
Yes.
Oh, if anybody wants from Miami Valley Regional, any bicyclists or walkers want a belt or a clip, there's 24 down there in that box.
Anything else?
No problem.
Okay. Nothing else? I don't know, anybody got anything they want?
Well, we got 5 people here that want to speak.
Oh.
Doug, you first.
I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to get that date scheduled in here. Is there an update on my intersection?
No, there isn't. And it's not because I haven't done anything, but when I talked to Walt the last time, they're still operating under the influence of weather. They're still got their hands full with a whole bunch of this stuff. Twin's supposed to get back to me soon. So as soon as I hear something, I will. They went out, and then because of the snow, they had to stop what they were doing. And all the rain, everything that's been going on. Then we had tornadoes, just not everything's great. But you're on the agenda, as soon as I hear back from Walt, we're gonna find something.
And after the meeting, could I get you to help me with DPNL usage information?
So what?
Some DPNL usage information. That, when the gentleman did that presentation, it just went, I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, well, we'll have more information about that. We'll have a flyer about that, like the usage as far as kilowatt hours and things of that nature. Right now, he's talking about the differential between kilowatt hours that they would offer as compared to DP&L would be 0.5 cents.
So half a cent
Half a
per
cent.
kilowatt hour.
Yeah. Okay, Pat?
Took care of it, thanks.
Not this Pat, I didn't sign up. We'll talk.
Oh, okay. It says, you want to speak, okay.
You signed me up to talk?
I figured you wanted to.
Hey, everybody. I hope you had a good July 4th.
Okay, Brett?
Yeah, I wanted to correct some misinformation from the May 14th meeting. Mrs. Spitznagel wanted to set the record straight on May 14th. I'll submit my notes. The Miami Township Police reported an email from JK Properties for inclusion in today's minutes, which reflect the same request Mrs. Megan made with Spitznagel's notes at the end of the meeting. So I'll be submitting those notes.
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Me too.
You had requested Ms. Spitznagel's notes from the May 14th meeting to include in the trustees' notes. I'll submit my notes for this meeting to be included.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, a great concern on May 14th meeting was the posting on May 8th, 2019, of the Miami Township Police Report, 17 days 2688, dated 9/3/17, on the Prospering Perry Township Facebook site. The police report did not redact the home address of Tim Littleton. The property in question is owned by Gary Kurtz of GK Properties. It was being purchased by Tim and Amanda Littleton on a land contract.
So I don't think we should be announcing this here in this meeting,
Well,
what they're purchasing or whatever. That's improper.
And no,
No, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I would hate to think that anybody that would allow somebody's personal
that's
information
what
to
this,
be
that's
put
what
on
this is about.
Facebook.
That's what this is about.
No,
It
you're
is.
not to
It's
give
about
out
you
personal
doing it.
information of a police officer, absolutely not.
You put it on Facebook about Tim Littleton.
I did.
Yeah.
And that was wrong.
And that's wrong.
No, it was not wrong.
Yes, it is wrong.
It was Miami Township Police Department's job to redact that address.
Well, that's all right.
Okay.
Ohio Patrol didn't redact something once and you put it out there too, and you were told you were wrong, weren't you? Weren't you?
See,
Weren't you?
somewhere.
Yes, you were.
Somewhere in this deal, integrity should come in.
Right.
And you know what? I wanna
Common
ask you a
sense.
question.
Integrity.
I wanna ask you a
Common
question.
I want to
sense.
I want
Can you
to
let
finish
him
my statement.
finish?
No, not on that, he's not
Yeah,
finishing,
go ahead,
absolutely
go ahead,
not.
finish.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
finish my statement because I'm talking about your integrity.
Yeah, well, you're getting ready to hear it too.
Okay? They bought this on land contract. I talked to Gary Kurtz, who owns the property. They moved out on January the 15th. Amanda stayed 7 or 10 days later. That's January the 15th, 2018. By the end of 2018, January, the house was vacant. I've included court financial statements verifying what transpired. You know what went on here. It's been 1 year and 4 months since Tim and Amanda Littleton have resided at this residence. Mr. Littleton's girlfriend, Kristen Spitznagel, has never resided at this residence. No one was ever in any danger.
That you know of.
Well, if they
That
didn't
you
live
know
there, how
of.
could
They
they be in
didn't
danger?
live there.
You don't know that, you don't know
Yes,
everything.
he
You know that,
does, that's what
Dale.
he's telling you.
No, he
Just
don't know
listen,
that.
Dale.
I do know that. I've talked to the owner and I've got financial information.
You know what, I've owned properties and I've had people live in them and stuff, not everybody knew who lived there or what, so you don't know everything.
I do.
I'm not real sure where you're going with this.
Yeah, I don't even,
Yeah, I don't-
what's,
I
we don't
don't
care.
have-
Wait,
Well, I'm
can I
going
just,
with
can I
this.
just ask a question? What, I don't
The
understand.
presentation that she gave was a lie.
Okay, what,
And you knew it was a lie because you didn't live there.
okay, but I don't understand
Nothing in
why.
there that she said was a lie, Mr.
Sure
Ward.
it was, because
She said that your family, your children, 10 children, were put in danger because your address was given out, but it was an address where you hadn't lived in a
You know-
very long
Okay,
time.
well, can I speak for a minute
But I-
since I live here? We live down the street from that address. He drives a car home that's marked from here. So you give an address of where we live, and then they can drive right past our house and see the car that's provided by this township
Yeah.
for him to drive home
How far do
and
you
see
live from that house?
within 10 minutes.
That's not
And
down the
that's
street.
not right by your house.
I don't understand.
If
I'm
you-
sorry.
Where you
I'm
going
sorry,
with
I'm
this?
sorry.
What's the deal on it?
Yeah.
Where you
I
going?
just-
The whole
Yeah.
point is,
Simple.
it was a
Simple
lie.
is
that
right.
they lived-
Simple's right, yeah,
It
simple.
was a lie.
I never stated I lived there, sir.
Right.
Yes, you
Somebody
did.
needs to keep their
Well,
nose out of other people's business.
I'll tell you something. I want to ask you a question. Fresh Hour, you too. Pat, you too. Do you have the best interest of this community at heart?
No, that's obvious.
No, I'm serious. I want to
Thanks for
answer.
answering for us.
Yeah.
I will, it's obvious, it's obvious.
I would like to
I-
know
We
the
answer
feel
answer,
the
Dale.
same,
Wait,
we feel the same way about you guys, it's obvious.
Okay, I want to know, do
Please.
you have the best interest of this community at heart?
I have.
It's not an essay question, it's simple yes or
Absolutely.
no.
Yes.
Simple.
I don't,
Absolutely.
okay, now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at this, because I asked you, as a member of the BZA, I gave you a list of questions I wanted, and you gave me instructions, check Terry's records. I did, That little paper you scratched across the top
What
became a
does that
document.
what
Okay,
does
now
that
here's
have
the
to do
deal.
with this?
This has to do with your integrity. I went back and I checked Tara's records, and I found out, as a BZA member, you've missed over 1/3 of those meetings. Every time that we have to have a meeting rescheduled, it's a minimum of $200 for a newspaper article that comes out of your taxes, your taxes, your taxes. Every time we have to do it. Not only that, as I was also following your instructions to look at the record, Tara's records, and I looked at, you've got a building you put up that there's no zoning permit for. And you're a member of the BZA. Now, let's talk about integrity.
One
big
behind
boy.
your garage.
You mean the chicken house?
Yeah,
That's the
well,
foundation.
Hey, I don't care what it is, you didn't get a permit to
You
put it
get a
up.
permit.
Need a
Now,
permit.
let's talk about that.
You
Don't
got
you start,
chickens.
I'll get on you in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you complained about that pond out there overflowing. And I came out there and I went around that perimeter of that place. I went up 3 times
Oh,
to the,
you came to my house one time.
that's all I needed from you.
Oh, okay.
I went up to the Conservancy
Soil and water.
3 times. Yeah, that's right, that's what it's called. 3 times. I went up there, I got topographical maps, I got aerial photos, and the 3rd time I was there, they said, who's complaining about this? I said, well, Bob Freshout.
5 neighbors.
And you
Five
know what?
neighbors.
You know what they told me? Why don't they ever come in? Get up off your ass and go to the.
I've been up there.
Yeah.
I've been up
You know who
there.
I'm gonna believe, them or you? I
Oh.
believe them.
Well, sure.
well, you've
Because
told
you
lies in the
established
meeting.
yourself
I'm
as
an
a liar.
established liar. Yeah, you
That's
told
right.
me.
You
You
Just
said
like
that
I sold
at
my
this
farm.
meeting.
You told how
Why
I
don't
sold
you
my
let-
farm.
Why don't you let
Bull, I
Mr.
never
Warble
sold
finish?
anything.
I make a motion
Why don't
to
you let
adjourn.
Mr. Warble finish his
Second.
statement?
We're adjourned.
I need my 9 minutes.
Well,
You ain't getting 9 minutes, we don't have to give you
No,
any.
we don't have
Zero.
to give,
That's-
that's another thing
that's
too.
the
We don't have to allow anybody to speak.
Good.
And we can pick and choose who we want.
Sit down, Brad.
Go to the green.
Relax.
Well, you know, Mr.
That's right, I
Ron
did,
Price
I'd
there
do it again.
was, Tim Littleton was to the green because he wanted to know what hours I worked. And soon after that, Ron Price called
Public place, isn't it?
Ron Price called my employer.
Well, he did it too.